Hello everybody, welcome to the weekly bump for the week of August 29th. Thank you all so much for being here. So as always, we have three piles. For pile 1, we have an amethyst. For pile 2, we have a sodalite. And for pile 3, we have a fluorite. So go ahead and take a moment, pause the camera if you normally feel intuitively called toward one pile or the other. Not everyone always feels intuitively drawn. That's perfectly fine if you don't. I always say you can just randomly pick a pile because there's always an element of destiny involved. So timestamps for each pile will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. So go ahead and pick your pile and I'll see you there. All right, pile number 1, you selected the amethyst. So let's go ahead and give this pile a shuffle and see what comes through for you guys for the week. Okay. So we have Star, 7 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Coins, the High Priestess, and the Judgment, all reversed. So I think the big question for you guys that you're really asking yourself is, how do I get there? Right, with the Star, how do I get there? How do I achieve these things? How do I get from here and work with what I have to getting there? And I think there is a perceived struggle a little bit with that. How do I get the resources? How do I get the people? How do I have the energy? How do I? And it's going to be really, really, really important for you to have faith. And I know that sounds like sometimes a cop-out answer, but it's so critical with that Wheel of Fortune reversed. Sometimes we go through these phases where not everything is super clear, right? We go through these ebbs and flows of life all the time. So not everything is always clear all the time. Not everything is obvious. Our next steps don't always make sense. And sometimes our intuition pulls us and calls us in a specific direction that in our minds is so far out of bounds, but is actually more of a shortcut for how to get there. And to have faith in ourselves, to have faith in our gut, to have faith in the divine timing and the divine intelligence that's at play all the time. I'm feeling a tired feeling with this Knight of Coins reverse, like you're tired of the hard work, or tired of not getting the recognition, or tired of not being seen. The thing about the Star, especially this Star card, the way the artist portrayed this, right? We have one giant, brilliant star in the sky, which is like a sun, you know, it's basically a sun, right? And it's clear that that's like the defining star. That's us wanting to be seen and wanting to be special and wanting to be unique amongst many, many, many other stars. And I think there's a disconnect between what you've been doing and what you're going to need to do. The work ethic and the work strategy and the time spent is going to need to change. And what I mean by that is, I think you're going to be spending less time being more impactful. Or I guess that's not really a word, but having more impact. Okay? You're going to spend less time and have more impact. You're going to be working less, but being more effective. And I look at this High Priestess in the reverse, and I feel like she's saying it's time. You know, she's like revealing things to you right now. She's sending you downloads. She's giving you ideas. She's giving you the burst of energy that you need. Because I think your higher self knows that this can only last so long. You can only be in that defensive position. You can only be in that spot where you're trying. I mean, you can only do that for only a short, sustained period of time before you start to wear out and before you start to give up. And of course, your higher self absolutely does not want you to give up. It wants you to persevere. It wants you to keep going, but it also wants you to be free from that. And although I do see a significant lack of clarity with this Judgment reversed in the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Not a lot of things make sense to you. Not a lot of things feel super comfortable right now. But I just want you to know that that's okay. I'm kind of getting this, I'm really drawn to this Star card. Like it's just like coming out and smacking me in the face. And there's a lot of things coming out with it. And one of the things is to getting out, like getting your mind out of the societal structure that has been built. I think with this, you've been operating within the structure that society and culture has built for you, right? So let's say your goal is to run a multi-million-dollar business. Okay, so you're wanting to run a multi-million-dollar business, so you are climbing the ranks and climbing the ladder, and you are building and working super, super hard and doing what everyone has always told you that that's what you're supposed to do. That's how it works. That's how it gets done. But what's ultimately going to happen is you're going to transition from all of this super hard work. I'm not saying you're going to stop working, but it's like the effectiveness of the work that you do is going to become tenfold. And that's going to come through certain decision making that you're going to start making. You're going to start delegating or start hiring people, or you're going to start requesting things of people. And you're going to start being more clear with what you need and start setting expectations upon others. You're going to start taking a more leadership role. I'm kind of envisioning like that Bible story of the 3 wise men following the stars, right? I'm like, well, if people follow, like if wise people can follow a star, why can't people follow you? You are a star, you are a sun, you are a bright light. Why can't you be a guide for others? So I see this shift happening for you. And it may not happen like all this week, but I think that you're coming to that point where you're starting, like this 7 of Wands energy is starting to wear thin. And the energy with which you can continue doing that is like in short supply. And you know it. You know you're running low. So like something needs to evolve. Something needs to change. And the universe is hearing your call. Your higher self is saying, okay, I understand. Let's get you out of this situation. So there's no need to be afraid. There's no need to have doubt, because you will always have you. You can always still just be you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Have faith in yourself, have faith in your talents and your skills, and just have fun with the rest. I think there's been an energy of seriousness. Everything has been so serious. And maybe this is time where you just start having a lot more fun. It's like the more fun you have, the more expansive you can be. And the more expansive you can be, the more receptive you can be. And it all works in tandem and it all works together. But there is a destiny at play for you here with that star card. Okay, so this moment was destined, and this switch that you're making is also destined. So let's pull out a couple of oracle cards here. Let's do a wisdom of the oracle card. We have to be fair. Beautiful. Scales have to balance at some point, and maybe it's been a little too heavy and a little too overweighted with this 7 of Wands. You've been a little too on guard. You've been on the edge a little too much, and so now it's about pulling it back and being, again, like I said, now I'm repeating myself over and over. Sorry about that, but it's about being more effective with a lot less effort. Okay, one more oracle. Sorry, I did not prepare my oracle cards. Took me a second to get it. Okay, and we have volatility. Well, nothing wrong with volatility. It's that reminder that things that things do change. Sometimes we need that reminder. We need to stay attuned to the fact that anything can change on a dime. And if you have been down on your luck, or if you have been running low on energy, or you've been running low on interest on something, right? Now all of a sudden, boom, something can happen and completely jolt you into an entirely new time and space, an entirely new reality. So I think that's what this Mars in Gemini is going to be really, really good for, is that jolt that we've all needed, that little kick in the butt to say, okay, we're done with that other thing, and now let's go for the thing we actually want, right? Let's make that transition. Let's make that magic happen. Okay? All right, pile number 1. Thank you so much. You know how much I love and adore you. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, actually, just a quick reminder. If you are a subscriber to any of the 3 tiers on my website, you will have access to the weekly extendeds, which are done specifically for each zodiac sign. Okay? Just wanted to put that out there. So all that info will be found in the description box down below. All right? Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you selected the Celestite. So let's go ahead and give this pile a quick shuffle and see what comes through for you guys. Okay, clearly that one wants to come out. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm seeing being on edge a little bit. Chariot reversed, Temperance reversed. You may be feeling like you're a little out of control of something, or maybe you undertook some project, or you've embarked upon some endeavor, and now you're like, oh shoot, what did I just do? Oh no, this was a lot of work, or this was a lot more of what I wasn't expecting. But even though maybe I don't know that I want to go so far as to say you're having doubts or second guesses or anything. I don't know if it's that extreme, but maybe it does feel like a lot, right? Like you don't have the reins, the reins are slipping, maybe things maybe aren't moving as fast as you would like, or maybe it wasn't exactly what you expected, and so it is creating a little bit of a disturbance, but not huge, not a giant thing. We're not like getting the Tower card or anything, but it is your vision, and it's so important that we align with the vision, that we align with some kind of a purpose. It doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be our livelihood, right? Sometimes I think we confuse our purpose, quote unquote purpose, with what we do for money. Now, if we can somehow, integrate those two things, great, lovely, wonderful. But it doesn't always have to be the case. So I think this is more purpose related in terms of you wanting to do more of the thing that you thrive in, doing more of the thing that creates enthusiasm and joy into your life, the thing that excites you and intrigues you, and the things that stimulate your curiosity on a consistent basis. And so I think that that's probably, something that you're pushing more towards, but maybe it requires a lot. But I will tell you, with this Lovers, I'm loving the Lovers card. Now I'm doing the September readings. I'm almost done. They'll be published in the next couple of days. But this Lovers card has been coming out a lot. And I know it's the Gemini card, and I know we have Mars in Gemini, but I also see it as a card of integration, which has been a theme that has emerged through the September readings. That we are now integrating new frequencies and new vibrations and new thoughts, and incorporating those more and more into our daily energy field, and therefore making more space for us to actually become that thing, right? Because familiarization is really like that key to manifestation. And when it comes out, it's almost a promise of infinite abundance and infinite resources that can be made available to you. I feel as though you are opening or have opened some kind of a channel, okay? It may not feel like it because I'm seeing a lot of stress and anxiety here with these swords. Maybe some fear a little bit. Like I said before, maybe you started something and now you're like, oh shoot, that was a much bigger thing that I realized, or we're going to require a lot more than you thought, or something like that. And yet that sense of overwhelm, or that sense of realization of what you've done, is actually the sound or the feeling of the channel between you and your higher self opening. And yes, you are moving into unfamiliar territory. Yes, you are operating in new ways. Yes, your life is going to be different. Yes, you can never go back, right? All these things, it's like all these realizations just sort of raining down on you one at a time, and you having to like come into acceptance that this door that you opened from a very hungry place, right? Because it was something you really wanted. So you open this door, you were very hungry, and now that you are able to feast, you realize, oh, well, maybe you can't eat all that all at once, right? And so there's this continual, gradual integration of this new thing. You know, you can walk up to the big buffet table and you can take a few bites and then maybe a few more and a few more, but only a few at a time. So just keep doing a few steps at a time, keep going, because before you know it, you'll eat everything on that table. Like before you know it, the time will come when you're going to be opening up a new channel or a new portal. Now, that may be a few years from now, okay? It may be a while, but it will happen. And you'll have realized and actualized everything that you have recently set yourself towards, that you set out to do, okay? You will accomplish those things. There's no need to doubt. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to... It's like, this card is like that card of like getting what you want and then shoving it down the universe's throat, almost. Right? It's very sour. And I feel like that is an energy that may be creeping up because you're realizing, oh shoot, what have I done? And you may want to shut the door on it, but please don't. Some of you may feel that temptation. So please don't, is just all I'm saying. Please don't. And you'll realize how incredibly abundant this new place is over the course of the next few months. And you'll be really, really, really happy that you made this transition. Okay, let's pull out some oracle cards. Starting with a wisdom of the oracle here. Oh, okay. Time for a nap. Yeah. On my Instagram today, I posted a video and I had mentioned sleeping because I think sleeping has either been problematic or it's been like a point of focus for a lot of people. Some people are sleeping, maybe not long, but they're sleeping really hard, like really deep sleeps. And maybe you do need a little bit of a break. Maybe you do need to give yourself a rest. If you have entered into a new arena of something, and that you're feeling that overwhelm, please give yourself the rest that you need so you can deal with that overwhelm. Sometimes that overwhelm is just the feeling of discomfort, ebb and flow. Yeah, I think you're in a flow state. You may not feel like it, but I think you're definitely in a flow. You are certainly in a position of making things happen. That channel, that gateway is open. You are downloading, you are communicating, you are doing the work that you're needing to do. And, there really isn't anything stopping you at this point. 5 of Swords is the only thing, but that's all internal and that's all within your realm of control. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. Please remember that if you are a subscriber on my website, I'll put all the info down in the description box in the comment thread down below, that you will have access to the weekly extended readings, which we do for each zodiac sign, for the weeklies and also for the love readings on Friday. Okay? So if you're a member, go ahead, log in, and you'll have access to that as well. Thanks so much. Take care. Hello, pile number 3. You guys selected the Fluorite. So let's go ahead and give this pile a quick shuffle and see what comes through for you guys. Okay. So I feel like that one wanted to come out. So we got the 6 of Swords. Okay. I don't know why this question came to my mind. This may or may not resonate. Whoops, just dropped my deck. Okay. The question was, how do I be happy? How do I find happiness? I feel like with the 6 of Swords, you feel or you think you need to go over there, right? You need to go over there. This is like a grass is greener situation. You need to go over there. You need to have that thing. You need to be in that position or have the money in order to do X, Y, or Z. But I think this is a week for you to just harness the joy and the gratitude and the appreciation, and to feel the happiness frequency, to generate that from within. I'm looking at the dogs here. Pets, if you have a pet or if you have a child, like a young child especially. I mean, I know you all can love your teenagers or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, like that love of that pure innocent child or that pure innocent pet, that animal, that creature that you just absolutely adore. And there's a purity and an ultimate entire acceptance of them. Okay. And I think that's an excellent exercise for us as human beings to understand a little bit, just a little bit of how accepted we are in, the kingdom of heaven, if you will. How accepted we are by the Creator. And I'm feeling like safety and security is something that you're needing right now. Safety and security emotionally, financially. You're needing to know that like you're good. You're needing to know you're on solid ground. But I think the way to really feel that security, this sword is pointing straight down at this 10 of Cups. It's within all the things that bring joy and laughter and goodness and peace into your life. I think you're going to have a lesson in that this week or in the weeks to come. You're going to have some kind of an eye-opening experience that makes you realize a little bit more about what life is truly about. Now, I've talked a lot about the material world because North Node is in Taurus. But there's always that reminder that this material world is temporary, And we know that intellectually, like in our head, we know that. But we also want to have a comfortable life here. And in order to have a comfortable life, we need material things like a nice bed, right? Or a nice place to live. We need food. We need all the basic survival things. And I know most of us, people who are sitting here watching these tarot readings, generally have most of their basic survival needs met. But I know I've talked a lot about the material, but I think this is switching now for you. You're kind of losing interest maybe in the material and starting to shift toward family and love and just being in a soft, receptive place. And with the 8 of Wands pointing directly, like we've got all this energy pointed directly at the 10 of Cups, even this heading here and that going there. It's kind of all 3 of these cards pointing here, saying this is where the real joy is. I mean, here in this image, we have an old man and his family, and they're in this beautiful, like, I always envision this as like a big Tuscan, Italian or French countryside villa or mansion or something, right? But then we have like a small little country home, and they're the ones that have the joy. They're the ones that are really living life. They're the ones that we have lives that people are jealous of, right? Because they're fulfilled. They're satisfied. They're not seeking anything out there. I'm just trying to think with this justice. I feel like there's kind of a balance between the two of these things here. And maybe your focus has been more in the material lately, and that's, of course, perfectly fine. But right now, the 10 of Cups is more important, and that's to balance the scales. That's to keep things in tandem and working together. That's to keep things at equilibrium. So this is like a must for you, an absolute must. You must focus on the joy. You must focus on love and compassion, and especially love and compassion toward yourself. It's a must do. I'm kind of feeling meditation with this card, but not like sitting down in a house. I feel it being more in the open air. Smelling the fresh water, smelling the rain, smelling the grass or the trees. Even if you live in a city, right? The sounds of the city, sounds of dogs barking and cars and whatever, and just kind of being immersed in the environment. It's more environmental rather than sitting in a house and kind of zoning out for a minute. It's more contemplative. I feel that your heart is drifting. Your heart is drifting away from something that is known. The 10 of Coins is known. It's seeable. It's tangible. You can put your hands on it. This is experienced. It's felt. Your heart is drifting more and more toward this. I have a feeling that your relationships are evolving in kind of a beautiful way. You're becoming, the word that's coming to my mind is awe. You're becoming more in awe of the miracles of human connection. And the willingness of so many people to not partake or to understand in the beauty of human connection and this shared human experience. I'm kind of like, I remember when I was a little girl and I was a dancer, and my dance teacher was like this super amazing person, and she had 3 daughters when I knew her. And like the first year I met her, she was pregnant with her first daughter. I think I was like 6 years old. And after she had had her 3rd daughter, I remember she was talking to someone else, and I was just sitting right there like tying up my point shoes, and she was talking about love and how like when she had her first daughter, her like heart grew like 1,000,000 times. She was like, there's no way I have any more capacity for more love. And then she had her 2nd daughter, and just, oh yes, I do. And there's like even more love. And again, like I never could possibly think that I could have a capacity for more love. And then she had her 3rd daughter, and it was just like, like this huge amount of love that she had no idea that she was capable of as a human being. And I'm kind of getting that sense. It's interesting. I haven't thought about that story in years. I haven't thought about that story. And now here it is coming, and that's how I feel about the 10 of Cups. It's just your heart is expanding and expanding and expanding. And how fitting, since you selected the fluorite, which is connected with that heart chakra here. And this is something to really indulge in and to allow yourself to really just feel, because this is going to enhance and deepen your connection with spirit and the creator. And, you know, it's going to make things here on this earth, or the contrast that we must go through on this earth, right? Always the scales, there's always contrast, no matter how high vibe we are. But it's going to make those moments of contrast so much more easy to deal with, because you just have this perspective. And this is a beautiful moment. I think this is one of the best readings I've done in a long time. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the oracles. What do the oracles have to say? Soulmates. Amazing. How fitting. Soulmates. We're soulmates with our spouses. We're soulmates with our partners or with our parents and with our children, with our friends, with our siblings. We're just all soulmates. We're all in these big soul groups and we're all just connected. And it's really, really incredible. And I think if you start treating people like soulmates, I don't know, I feel like your relationships could really start to improve. We have Earth, oh my gosh, Earth magic. How beautiful is that? Experiencing the magic of this Earth plane, this Earth dimension. Now is a really good time to just be available, right? To just be open, to be receptive, and to understand that the happiness is from within, right? That kingdom from heaven is within. Know thyself, right? That's all biblical. So I don't even know why I'm quoting the Bible. I haven't even read the Bible. I don't even know. I just know what I read on like Instagram or whatever. But know thyself and come closer to the Creator. That's for sure. All right. Beautiful reading, you guys. So if you are a member, if you want to join my website, janeinternational.com, any of the 3 tiers of membership or subscription, you will have access to a weekly reading as well for each zodiac sign. So it gets a little bit more specific for your astrology. All right. So if you are a member, go ahead and log in, and the link or the video should be posted on the blog page. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.